Rhetoric is the art of persuasion through language. The words you choose are often a measure of how successful you are. In writing an essay, you want to use the effective language to convey what you are trying to say. To convince someone of something, you often have to use specific salesmanship, if you will, to get them to do that, to use the proper language for affecting your case. Make it attractive, a spoonful of sugar to make the medicine go down, if you will. All of this sounds a little cheap, all of this sounds a little hokey, but the effect is success in the end for what you're trying to say if you make it pleasing, if you make it engaging, if you do not turn off the very people you're trying to convince by just letting your language lie there. It's important to understand at the very beginning that style is a tool. Use it. To begin with, you want to start by crafting your lead. Now, lead, L-E-D-E, is a term from journalism. It is how a story in a newspaper begins. For our purposes, in an essay, it is the first sentence of your essay, the first beginning of anything, your essay, your paragraph, whatever. And in breaking down an essay into individual paragraphs, you want to look for some variety. You want to look for not making it just stale. You want to draw each body paragraph from the essay statement. You are taking your essay statement, which is the introduction, and narrowing the focus to deal with just one element of that for each body paragraph. In a sense, you're taking the idea of your introduction, cracking it into, for our purposes, 3 different aspects and addressing each one in turn. You want to compose each body paragraph statement more narrowly than the essay statement, and you want to seek progressive specificity. So if the essay statement, if the introduction deals with a broad topic, each of the individual body paragraphs following that deals with a connected but distinctly more specific aspect of that topic. This can be a little hard to understand. Consider what we spoke about in an earlier essay or earlier video, the monkey. Consider the monkey. Remember when we discussed the crafting of an essay around the statement, I like monkeys because they're funny. Okay, well, let's take that general statement and we break it down. As we did before, we broke it down to the statements, macaws are very silly, chimpanzees are very sarcastic, and bonobos are very droll. I still laugh at that. Bonobos are very droll, quite frankly. I have only a very vague idea what bonobos are, and I have no reason to believe that they are particularly droll, but something about the droll is just absurd to me. But notice how these are more specific. I'm taking the general idea of monkeys are funny, and I'm breaking it down into specific monkeys and specific aspects of being funny. Each lead then is new. New works. New sells. People are interested in what is new. If you give somebody something that is new, they will lean in just a little bit more and say, oh, okay, this is developing. This is getting better. What this doesn't do, however, is plotting. These leads don't plod. Like if we were to write, one funny monkey is the macaw. Well, that is a statement, and that can lead into a first body paragraph. And then you go to another one. Another funny monkey is the chimpanzee. And then you go to a third example, a third body paragraph, and you say a third example is the bonobo. This is just dull. This is just clicking things off. This is letting your reader understand that you're just going through the motions here. You are not thinking about this in any rich or imaginative way. You're just checking off boxes. Like, I have to have one body paragraph, I have to have a second body paragraph, then I have to have a third body paragraph, and I'm going to make sure that I do absolutely the minimum thinking that I possibly can in this. This is dull. This is repetition. Repetition is dull. More than that, it is very dull. Repetition is very dull. Consider the contrast. Each lead is new. Macaws are very silly. Chimpanzees are very sarcastic. Bonobos are very droll. Variety works. Craft your lead. Take the time to imagine a different aspect of your general statement, of your general essay introduction, and break it into specific ideas that are connected to but developed from the original concept, the original introduction, the original statement, and then focus in on how can you make that new lead, the lead for each individual paragraph, more intriguing, more interesting, more engaging. You do it by making it new, by offering something more specific, by offering something that is enticing. People will lean in if they find something new. If you offer them something that they haven't really thought of before, or maybe it's something a little different, but if you're just checking off boxes, saying this and another and another and another, you're not going to persuade anyone.